about cultural events. With our convocation present.
Thank you, Rick. Before I start, those of you who are sitting over here, I might be blocking you, so you might want to move over. It's up to you, or what you think. So my name is Lynn Larson, and I'm the Associate Artistic and Executive Director for Repertory Dance Theater. And we are a professional modern dance repertory company that resides in Salt Lake City. And we began as a rather unique experiment. In 1966, the Rockefeller Foundation believed the time was right to create a company that would nurture the art of dance by developing performers and choreographers, commissioning new work, and preserving modern dance treasures. RDT is now a nationally known resource center and laboratory for contemporary dancers, choreographers, visual artists, writers, and composers. Our company is made up of 8 full-time professional dancers who train to perform a diverse range of choreography, from the early dance pioneers such as Isadora Duncan to work created by contemporary choreographers working today. We're delighted to be here today at Snow College, and thank you to Eric for helping us organize our visit today. So we're going to start at the beginning. Isadora Duncan, Loie Feller, and Ruth St. Dennis began as soloists whose dancing embodied a yearning for freedom and a return to the natural. Some called it aesthetic or interpretive dancing, but it offered a modern 20th century audience a new way to see motion. Many progressive young women in America explored the frontiers of self-awareness with scarf dancing. From Japan came Michio Ito, who influenced dancers in New York City in the 1920s with his inner concentration and inventive gestures. After studying in Europe, Ito immigrated to the United States in 1916. There was no modern dance movement in New York when he arrived. He established himself as a charismatic performer, and he began teaching his own unique movement technique, which included 10 symbolic gestures of the arms that he compared to the 12 notes on a piano. His choreography tended to follow the structure and accents of the music. A specific motivating idea or emotion was important in defining the movement vocabulary of each dance. Ito often called his works dance poems, suggesting a theme or mood expressed simply and poetically. explored themes drawn from literature, religion, and history. In 1958, he visited Poland. The cities were still recovering from World War II, yet he saw the people with hope and optimism. His work called Mazurkas was inspired by the folk dance and the spirit of a brave nation. Jazz dance developed alongside jazz music in the early 1900s. Originally, the term jazz dance encompassed any dance done to jazz music, and every jazz choreographer developed a distinct style. Dancers known as Luigi, Bob Fosse, Jack Cole, and Matt Maddox are a few of the great. Next, you will see a piece called Opus Jazz Loves Bach, choreographed by Matt Maddox. The term modern dance is obviously not adequate for all the varieties of dance created today. Whatever you want to call it, American contemporary dance reflects an inventive and complicated society. Today, a dancer's training is diverse, and ballet technique is now standard equipment for a modern dancer. Contemporary choreographers such as Kate Skarpintowska blend the classical and the contemporary with great skill and inventive partnering. You will see next an excerpt from her work called Octet. final work we will perform today is a piece by international choreographers Noah Zook and Ohad Fishoff. It is called Ringo. And it was developed with a movement language called Gaga. This movement language originally was developed in the Batsheva Dance Company in Tel Aviv, Israel. Gaga is a physically challenging experience offering a workout that develops flexibility, stamina, agility, and coordination. It is a process that has enabled RDT dancers to develop a richer connection between the mind and the body as they discover new ways of moving. Thank you so much for having us here today at Snow College, and we want to invite you to a performance we are doing tomorrow evening at the Sevier Valley Performing Arts Center in Richfield at 7:30, and all Snow College students and faculty, it's free for you to attend, so please come join us. We would love to have you. In the audience, you're going to see many, many different pieces than you saw today. Thank you. We'd love to answer some questions if you have any, so we'll just have them get a quick drink of water and come back out. So if you want to move down, you can, or just yell from your seat. You're welcome to do that too.
Also, the TAs will have mics, so if people have questions, if it doesn't, and that we can hear on the live stream as well. So think of the questions while the performers are getting a drink, and you can start by raising your hands if you know you have a question.
You can also ask me a question while we're waiting if you'd like to.
I guess while we're waiting, how many performances like this do you guys do within, I don't know, week, month, year sort of scenario?
So it kind of depends on if we're touring or if we're at home, but we do 4 main season shows a year in Salt Lake, and then we usually tour 4 to 5 different places during the year, which we'll also do performances like this, and also work in the public schools, which we've been doing in Richfield and Loa, and some of those areas, Salina. So we kind of do a mixture of performing, whether it's on a main stage, sometimes it's in a cafeteria of a gym, sometimes it's in a classroom. So that's kind of, I would say, you probably do an average of how many weeks of performing do you think a year? Quite a few. At least 20 weeks a year performing. And then we also rehearse. They rehearse Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 in Salt Lake. So if you can imagine, that's kind of their workout. They're dancing all day, so that's kind of keeping them in shape cardiovascularly and their bodies in shape. So now that they're here, you can ask them some questions. That was a good one.
I just wanted to ask, what was the name of that last song?
It's called a Gringo Like Me. It's by an artist I can't think of right now. but the album cover is like Korean and live. Yeah.
Sure, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Hi, my name is Jake Lewis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and this is my 3rd year with RDT.
My name is Lindsay Faber. I'm from Salt Lake City, and this is my 4th season on the company.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and this is my 7th season on the company, and I'm from West Valley City, Utah.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Richter. I'm originally from Colorado, and it's my 2nd season on the company.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexander Baum. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this is my 1st season with RDT.
Hi, my name is Ursula Perry. This is my 12th season on the company, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hi, my name is Caleb Daly. This is my 3rd season on the company, and I'm originally from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
How long does it usually take for you guys to learn a song like choreography and everything? And I guess it would depend on if it's like you yourself or with the whole company.
That's a good question.
It varies. So, depending upon how long the piece is going to be, and then how many people are in it. If it's a solo, it usually takes anywhere, we like to say it takes 4 hours per minute, but it just depends if you're a fast learner and if there's a lot of nuance within it. A group piece, like one of the excerpts off of TED, she was with us for 2 weeks, rehearsing every day from 9 to 4, or from 10:45 once we're done with class to 4. So yeah, it just varies on the piece, and a lot of choreographers like to take their time. And a lot of choreographers are like, and, you know, they spit it out and they're like, okay, you have it. And then they either have somewhere else they need to be or they're performing somewhere else. So it just kind of varies on scheduling and what's allowed. But we rehearse nonstop. and we will like rehearse it until it is the way it's supposed to be. But as far as setting it, it just varies.
Were you guys all like involved in this type of dance for a really long time? Or did you guys all start out doing like ballet or this or that? Or like how long were you involved in this specific style of dance?
Okay, we'll just go down the line and talk about our dance history and such. I started dancing when I was 8. I started out doing tap dance at my local studio. I really enjoyed it and started to add more dance styles. So I had ballet, Irish step, modern, hip hop, all the things. I just kept tagging them along. And then I went to progress my education, went to the University of Wyoming. We had modern and ballet focus, and then we had some jazz and some tap here and there. So then I really honed in on there and then joined the company in 2022. So I've been doing this 3 years now.
It's similar for me. I grew up as a comp kid, so I did competition dance, tap, jazz, acro. Loved it. And then I realized that dance is something that I wanted to do a little more seriously, so then I got a little like ballet heavily. And then I went to the University of Utah for ballet, I got my degree in ballet. And then I didn't really kind of dive into modern dance and its like historical kind of prowess until I joined the company. So I guess 12 years.
I started dancing when I was 14 at a competition studio, so kind of all genres. And then at my high school, I got a lot of modern dance training, so I've kind of been immersed in this style a little bit longer. And I also got my BFA in dance from the University of Minnesota, which is predominantly modern and contemporary focused.
I started when I was 3 doing ballet and tap, and then later on added jazz, contemporary, hip hop, all of that. And then in college, I started getting introduced to more of the classical modern, a little bit like we do here, and then joined the company here. So probably about 4 or 6 years in the modern end of things.
I grew up playing sports, all kinds, basketball, track and field, all the things, and I didn't start dancing until high school when I just took a dance class. But then, yeah, didn't study it or do it seriously until college, and that's when I discovered modern dance. I got my degree in modern dance from the University of Utah, and yeah, I've been dancing since then. So.
I love how unique everybody's stories are. We're all so different. I grew up doing modern dance. Modern dance was the studio creative. Modern dance was what I grew up doing. I went to a place called Tanner Dance at the University of Utah. And Tanner Dance is actually deeply entwined with the history of RDT. So I grew up watching this company and loving classical modern dance. So I didn't always know it was something I wanted to do as a job, but it was something that I was always super fascinated by. And so that drove me to go to a performing arts high school where that's when I really started my deep technical training with ballet and jazz and more modern, always more modern. And then I went to college at the Boston Conservatory where I just kept diving in and honing those skills, and that's kind of how I came to be here.
Kind of similar to everyone else, I started at like 10, did jazz, ballet, modern, hip hop, tap, etc. I moved to New York for college, where I went to the Ely School, so that was kind of where I fell in love with like the historical aspect of modern dance. But just to kind of add on to your question, I think what is really interesting is that I wouldn't really say this company necessarily has a style because we cover 100 years of modern dance. So we did dances that were choreographed 100 years ago, ones that were choreographed last year. So I think our like own personal style and what like we have fallen in love with personally, that's influenced our own dance paths. Is kind of what has like made our individual styles that allow us to also do the breadth of repertory that we do.
Maybe one more question.
If each
of you had to pick your favorite style of dance, what would it be?
I'm gonna say I don't know if there's like a specific name for it, but I really enjoy a lot of like almost like acrobatic, like very like intense aerobic, bing bang, hit it, hit it, hit it. The technical term for my favorite.
If I was forced to choose one for the rest of my life, I'd probably choose any type of classical modern dance just because that's where I have the most fun.
Aside from everything that we do, I'll say I really enjoy jazz dance. That's also the style that I teach at studios and stuff too, or I enjoy teaching at studios.
Yeah, I'd probably say contemporary. There's a lot within that. I also love tap.
If you really knew me, you know that I love K-pop, so I have a deep appreciation for K-pop, all girl groups and boy groups. But the last piece I performed, Gringo, I find that movement very satisfying. It's very sensory and imagery driven, so it's less concerned about like classical lines and like being in sort of like a codified technique with like, yeah, just lines. It's a little more free for me.
I actually am going to agree with Alex. Within that style of dance, you have all of the other dance that I love to do. So you can connect to the ballet lines, and you can connect to kind of the abstract lines that you would do within, like, or the codified jazz technique that goes in there too. But because it's all sensation-based, you're able to, yeah, it's almost creature-like, which is in itself really fun. So every time you do it, it's very new and very different. So yeah, that's about it.
I mean, I love noodling around and doing modern movements and things, but I think favorite would be more like hip-hop and commercial work. I think it's really fun, especially like just taking fun classes where it's like you're just doing a combo for the fun of it, and just being able to throw your personality and do whatever you do in class. One more question?
Probably a weird way of asking, but is it like your guys' job? So like 9 to 5, you're out there dancing all the time. So like besides teaching, like do you just make your money like performing? Sorry, I'm new to this, so I'm just wondering.
I would say predominantly this is our main job. We work 9 to 4. We have our warm-up class in the morning, and then we have rehearsal throughout the day and a lunch break. And even within the job, we have side jobs as well. Ursula and I are part of costuming. We have Alex, Daniel, Lindsay in social media. Other people are part of our Broadway Dance Center and all the things. So there's all these other jobs within it, but I know people also have other jobs outside of it. They want to talk.
We teach at studios, and I actually like work for a wine broker, which is totally different. People in the company before have done like many other things, retail, all those things. But this is our main job. From 9 to 4, we are paid dancers with insurance, which is a miracle. And I'm very blessed, and I feel very lucky to get to do what I love for a living. So, and we're getting paid right now.